This is Professor Homa, and welcome to Path Practice Fish Trace. For this exercise, we'll be working with creating our own path with the pen tool and then editing the path after the fact. We'll be making straight line segments and then converting them to curves and to corners as we go. So with this exercise, we have little blue boxes where the anchor points will be. So this will ease us into the exercise. But when we do later exercises, we'll have to kind of use this as a reference to where we should put our anchor points to make smooth paths. So I'm going to jump right into this, and I'm going to be using the pen tool. Now the pen tool actually works, if you click, it creates anchor points, and I'll just click right around here, and it's actually making, there's a polygon I just made, and it's filled with white and has a black stroke. And you notice even before I finished it, it starts to fill. So when I make sure when I trace things, I don't have my fill on. I'll make sure it's transparent and I just have a stroke color on it. So and ours will be created with straight line segments just like this one. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to delete that and delete again. And I'm going to start with the pen tool. I'll go down to my color palette and take away the fill. And also for my stroke color, I'll go up here and give it a stroke color. I'll just give it an orange stroke color to work on as I trace this. So I'm going to start at the tip of my fish, and I'm just going to go around clockwise. So I'm going to click right where the blue square is. I'm going to click, click, and I won't say click the whole time, but I'll just go around. Even if it covers over part of my fish, that's okay. I'm not worried about having it be accurate the first time. I'm just worried about having anchor points be where I want them to be. So this is pretty easy because I'm just following the blue squares. And then to finish this off, I click, and you see, I'll just hold my mouse there a second. You see that little circle? When I click with that little circle showing, that means that I'm closing the path, that it'll be an actual closed path. And that's relevant in later things that we do when we do operations that have to have a closed path. So I'll click to finish my path off. So now I have an odd looking shape, and I'm going to use my convert tool, and I'm going to start with this curve. And remember, when we work with our curves, the handles will control half of the path, or the first part of the path, and there's another handle controlling the other part of the path. Sometimes there'll be one handle, but we have to remember that I don't have to always get a curve controlled by one handle. For example, if I drag on here, and I didn't get right on the point yet, if I drag on here, I don't have to keep dragging this thing until it makes it all the way around. As long as it's following half of the curve, that's good. You can see here, half the curve is going up. Then I'm going to use my convert tool and flip it around. Remember, this turns it into a corner point, and I'll flip it around. And this curve is shallow. It only needs one handle, so that works out pretty well. And now I have the first part of that, this one, and I'm going to skip this and move on to this point. And this one, I'm going to drag. You could do it either way. You could drag the top part and get the top of the fin, or you could flip the other way and get the inside of the fin. I'll do it that way. It's a little tricky because it's flipping over the path a little bit, but I'm getting the inside of the path. You can see I followed it right there. That's the part I followed. And now this one, I'm going to grab the other handle and flip it over and get it to kind of follow. And if it doesn't follow the whole path, that's okay, because we could have another handle coming out on the other side that'll control part of that. So I'm going to skip this one and go down to here and pull up on the handle. And I'm getting that arch on the fish's nose. Now the next path, I'm always looking at the next one. The next one is a straight line, so I can actually pull the handle in. I don't need to have a handle at all, so that almost makes it into a straight line segment. Same thing here, it's straight line, I don't have to do anything. I'm going to keep going around and make a little arch there. There's my little S curve. So the chin kind of comes out, and this part kind of goes back in, but I'm going to pull the handle back in to the chin of the fish. And then I have straight line segments, which I could just kind of ignore because that's the way they're supposed to be. Now for the belly of the fish, I'm going to drag this way and kind of use one handle to get the belly. I should be able to get it. And there's one handle. And then I'm going to drag the handle around and get the bottom edge of that fin. And there, I'm almost done with the fish. And then this middle part, I'm going to skip doing anything here, because remember, whenever you do on a point, it's going to kind of wreck what you already did. On that point. So I'm going to drag here, and I drug the wrong way. I'll drag up and get that art. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'll fix it later. I can see the bottom half is pretty good, so I'll leave that go. And that should be all I need. I mean, I could go back here and go over this one and kind of fix the top of that. and then flip this around. Flip this handle. I could flip this handle around here, but you can see now that I do that, this handle is too long coming out. So some of that you're going to have to correct after the fact, which is okay. And to correct that, you want to use your direct selection tool. You don't want to use your convert tool. So I could just go here and pull that handle down and drag this handle up a little, and I follow that curve pretty well. Same thing over here. I can click on a point and look at my handles. I can say this handle's a little long, bring it down, and then lengthen this handle to match that curve pretty well. Doesn't have to be perfect, but did a pretty good job of the fin over there. Now moving along, I still have this issue here. Remember I said I may have another handle. I didn't make another handle. So if there's not enough here to finish that handle, to finish that curve off, I could go back to my convert tool and just pull this out and kind of just get a little handle coming out. And now I'll have two handles for that side. Now this is kind of bending in. That's okay. I'll just take this, move it around, and almost kind of put it back into the point, because I already have this handle controlling most of it, so I don't need much here. But that gave me an extra handle now. If I use my direct selection tool, I could click here, and there's the handle controlling that part. And I could probably shorten this one and get that just right. I may have to pull that out a little. And now I've traced this pretty well, or at least as much as I can trace this kind of cartoon fish. So again, that was just learning to kind of create anchor points with the pen tool and doing some basic converts. And again, in everything you do, you're going to have to use the direct selection tool and go back and tweak it later. It may never be perfect the first time. And again, also this method is using straight line segments that we're converting.